Evaluate the infinite geometric series. You always know it's infinite when it has dot, 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 and there's no stipulations on how far you're going. So, to do this, all we need is two things. We need A1, we need R. All we need is those two things to find the sum. Well, A1's obvious. Your first term is 3. R is a little bit more complicated, especially for those of you who hate fractions. Isn't it 1/3 divided by 3? Don't you take 1/3 divide by 3? Now for some of you, division you have to realize you flip and multiply. So R actually is 1/3 times 1/3, because you flip the 3, which becomes 1/9. Let's verify. Is 3 times 1/9 1/3? Is 1/3 times 1/9 1/27? Okay, that does work. It's always good to verify your common ratio to make sure you got it right. So, we're doing S infinity, meaning n is infinity. Number of terms is infinity. And all the formula asks for, it will A1 over 1 minus R, which is 1/9. And you have to do this without a calculator. So in order to do this, do you think we need a common denominator on the bottom? So in order to get a common denominator, are you okay with changing 1 to 9 over 9? So I now have S infinity is equal to 3 over, what's 9 minus 1? 8. So 3 over 8/9. Do you understand that means 3 divided by 8/9? Which, can't we write that as 3 times 9 over 8? Might want to put a 1 underneath that. So the sum of the infinite terms is 3 times 9, which is 27, over 8. Don't worry about making a decimal. There it is. On the test, I think if it is a decimal, you might have to, but on the benchmark, you can leave it like that. So that would be your answer for the sum of the infinite amount of terms. Number 5. Is it arithmetic or geometric? Well, does this have a common ratio or a common difference? Well, I notice it's geometric because it has a common ratio of -4. Common ratio of -4, not a common difference. It's not a common difference, it's a common ratio. Because you're multiplying by -4 each time. You just got to check which one it is. Are you multiplying by something or adding something? Now, if you want to find the series, you know this is a series because they're plussing or minusing. And n equals 6 means how many terms? So I'm going to sum the first 6 terms. For the formula, you start off with what? You start off with A1, which is -3. 1 minus R, what's R? -4. And what's in? 6. Over 1 minus R, which is -4. A lot of things to kind of mess up on, so be careful. So the sum of the first 6 looks like it's going to be -3, and this is 1 minus, well, -4 to the third. Is that going to be positive or negative? If you multiply -4 times itself 6 times, it's going to be a positive answer, and it ends up being 4096. And what's 1 minus a -4? Hopefully you know that's 5. So the sum of the first 6 is -3 times -4095 divided by 5. Is my answer going to be negative or positive? can be positive because a negative and a negative. And I would probably simplify this before I multiply by 3. But it's a little bit big. This one ends up being 2, 4, 5, 7. That would be the sum of the first 6 terms of this pattern.